over here. And right now, blue side, Fire Dragoons, and on the red side, Team Climax.
Now let's look at actually the last banned champions in the last split. So we saw Sidra being banned, Zac being banned, standard, normal. But let's see their jungle pickups here. CLX instantly banning Vladimir, very good choice. But FDG going with the Orianna ban. She's generally overall pretty good, and I think they're really respecting how Gelato plays a lot of their mid laners. So both Syndra and Orianna are taking out. And let's also look at Elise being banned out here. So it's interesting to see that Zera, despite showing so much strength on Kha'Zix, that they're respecting the early game junglers such as Elise.
Yes, and I love the bans coming in from Climax right here, but taking out Elise once again, this is to make sure that FDG does not put pressure into their jungle, and looks like the Zyra being taken out by 5 Dragoons right here. This is really I'm really curious about this because Hoki was phenomenal on his support right there. As I said, he's pulling crazy plays coming in, just popping out the ulti, get the rest of the team to follow up, and he did not die that much in the game earlier on. And
Yeah.
we do see 5 Dragoons here picking up their first pick. It's gonna be the Galio.
Very standard, very normal. We see that a lot here at TLC. But I want to talk about the Zyra and any utility-based ADC. Now that combo is really strong, but now that one of the strongest combos in the game has been taken out, it's interesting to see how this will slowly play out. Will
Looks
CLX
like
going for
Only
Bard?
going for the Bard. Is this gonna be the first time we're gonna see a Bard coming into the Rift of TLC?
Maybe, and he can partner up with a lot of different ADCs, just like how we are partnered up with Digi, the official telco partner of Garena. So let's inspire Digi.
That's right. And Bard, he could actually move across the map right here. I really like the Bard pickup as you don't see many supports roaming around early game.
Yeah.
And maybe this is what they need with Bard roaming around and trying to spot out where the enemy jungler is.
Maybe, but I also think that this slipped my mind the first time, but actually Zac got pushed through the first pick ban phase, so that's really good to pick up for CLX. But I'm not sure how they're going to make their team composition and revolve around these two yet. I'm bound to see the next pickup here, which will tell us a lot more. But let's talk about FDG's side here. What do they have?
They do have a lot of flex pick coming in right here. As you can see, Galio can go mid lane or the top lane. Gragas can still go to the top lane or the jungle over here. So this is gonna probably try to mess around with Climax's decision making onto the picks and bans right here. As you can see, Fiora being locked out, and they did pick up Renekton for Oni, and I'm really excited to see him dishing a lot of damage onto the top lane. And we're about to find out who exactly is going to go to the top side.
I think they're going for a very split pushy sort of comp CLX. So they've got Renekton as a very strong split pusher. They might want to go for an ADC like Xayah, who's actually really good at pushing out waves very, very fast. And anybody who can really push out waves fast, like a mid laner to say. So maybe even Echo, we might see them how they play out. So they're going to have 2 lanes split pushing, and they're going to have a strike team going around each of those lanes whenever the enemy team responds. And on the side of FDG, if they don't see that, they might lose out here because Lucian's being picked out. Also a very good split pusher who can split push pretty fast. But actually, now that I think about it, who's faster, Lucian or Xayah in a split push fight?
Well, I do believe that.
Wait, hold on. Before pre-level 6, no calling, no ultimates.
Before that, definitely he needs to hit a few levels, probably level 2 or 3 before Lucian comes online. And Xayah, as much as she dishes out a lot of damage right there, well, they could still do something with the supports coming into play.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you have to take into that factor. And Zero looking to lock in the Jinx right here. Looks like we actually have a misband right here, so we may get a reshuffle of the picks and bans right here. We may need to restart.
No. We'll see that Jinx is actually... Let's talk more about Jinx here. Forget about the bans. They lose out a ban, that's fine. Jinx here is actually really interesting to say the least because she doesn't have as much mobility as I was hoping to see for the rest of CLX's team comp.
I'm really not too sure about the bottom side of CLX right here because I think they took out Lucian for the fact that he could still stay really well in the lane, being alone, even if there's a lot of pushes coming in from the side of FDG.
Yeah.
And this time around, they pick up Jinx. I'm probably a little um, I'm
Skeptical.
not pretty skeptical about this pick right here on
Well-
how it's gonna work out.
Well,
And
in the words of a very wise man, stay optimistic till it doesn't work.
that's right. And of course, you see Ribena once again picking out the Kha'Zix right here. If it works for the first round, why not the second round? And we have the hyper carry Kog'Maw on the side of Fire Dragoon. So
Oh boy.
this is really interesting. And we have Lux. Is that gonna be a Lux top lane? Definitely not.
No,
right?
it's gonna be a
So,
Lux mid.
Yeah, this swapped out to Oni. I'm like, no kidding, man. We're not gonna go top with that.
Now, FDG with the flex pick Garga is really... I don't think it really faced CLX, because CLX, they like to play their own thing. They know what they want to do. They know what they feel best on. So they've got a really interesting team composition here, and I'm excited to see how they're going to play against a very standard, very, very meta FDG.
Well, I would like to talk about Climax's team composition as well. Like, they do have a lot of front liners over there and long range. But what happens when Fire Dragoons, they march towards the back? And this is where they will get into trouble. That's where they have to rely on the Bard or Shriek to actually chain in some CCs, as we will move into the game pretty shortly.
But I think Gelato's going to play a very big role here, because once the roaming starts, the moment he gets a pick, it's going to be game over for whoever gets CC'd. If Zach lands his bounce on somebody, or light binding from Lux, it's pretty much game over for whoever that is. And I think with such burst potential, Jinx might complement them, because for the most part, if she gets her CC and that person dies, she gets her passive, giving her extra movement speed, attack speed, and she's going to be running and gunning. She's a standard hyper carry, but not the best hyper carry to say. She's on the same level as Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw brings a little bit more with his passive and the artillery. But Jinx, naturally, you can say she's a hyper carry. Whether one is better than the other,
We're gonna find
it's
out.
debatable. Yeah,
Yes.
it's highly debatable.
And it's really interesting. This time around, we do see Zach picked up by Shriek right here. He did perform pretty well on the past weeks with him in the jungle, and he's pretty. He can be the oppressive side type of jungle on the Zach, which we don't really see much from many other players as well.
Yeah, you know what? I actually want to bring up one of my favorite skins, and that is Pugmaw, which you could possibly win as one of the mystery skins
That's
here
right.
today. Don't forget, please share as many of our streams as possible and put it onto public. Let's actually get right into the games here.
That's right, and this is gonna be game 2 of Fire Dragoons versus Team Climax.
Now, both teams have fanned out, very standard, very normal. The reason why you want to fan out is to get as much information about the positioning of the enemy team in case they do something cheeky, go for a little level 1 cheese, invade, and you want to get a deep ward in the moment you know that, let's say 4 members are on the top side, you get a deep ward into the enemy jungle to get more information.
Yes, that's right, and you can see all the members are beautiful lined up right at the entrances, trying to spot out anything that could possibly happen earlier on. And on the itemization wise for both teams, it's pretty standard coming in for FDG and Team Climax as well. So we're probably Zaire is going to start at the Raptor camps with the help of Galio's win over there, as well as Shriek. And Neko trying to steal, he does steal away some of these Raptor camps. This may probably delay his level 2 right here. And yes, it will. He is now sitting in at level 1. Putting him a little bit behind right there. Really cheeky move by Neko.
Yeah, that was pretty big. Capturing at least 2 of the small raptors delays your level 2 power. So that kind of sucks for the side of Shriek, as he needs to now he needs to actually full clear his bottom side to reach level 3, which is going to set him back quite a bit, but not too much. But considering how Zaire is playing overall, it's going to be pretty difficult.
And let's talk a bit of a mid lane matchup right here. And Gelato picking up the Lux right here. I'm not too sure how it's going to go, because Galio's are generally pretty tanky. And to burst him down, you're going to take a lot of effort right there. And JLKC right here just farming, like, as I said, he just walks in, soaks in some damage, and he's like, he couldn't care less. I could just regen back up later on and just dish out more damage with the pokes.
Yeah, and especially with JLKC's Galio, because a lot of MR is going to go into him already, which is going to play a big part in the laning phase because he's not going to take as much damage overall. And I think Gelato's getting a little bit nervous with the plays as he missed his binding light just now, and we can see
looks
Shriek.
like Shriek is going on to JLKC. He does get the knockup, and he gets rooted up right there. And JLKC taunting both members, securing an exit over there. Beautifully done by JLKC.
Oh, I'm not sure why Gelato didn't flash out of the shield.
Oh,
Perhaps
looks
he's
like
gonna get
Zed's
picked
going
up.
in with the flash, and he gets the first blood. Whoa, beautiful play there from FDG there.
Ooh, that was crazy. Zera responding immediately. Gelato pushing his limits as much as possible, but he can't do much there. Instantly dying. He sees him jump over. Even if he flashed, he wouldn't make it out of range from Zera's Q.
That was
QW.
really exciting, as you can see, Gelato still keeping both of the summoners up, and he has no time to respond at all. It was just phenomenal.
That was great. That was really great by Zed. But that just put JLKC's ahead. He's gonna back now. He's gonna get a couple more items here. He had to waste this flash just now. But I really think he should have died there. While Shriek coming in for the gank, Elastic Arms pulling him together.
And looks like Neko's in trouble right here, getting caught up by Shriek, and he does pop up the flash alongside with both Oni and Shriek, and they do get the kill onto Neko, and there are still more fights coming in. JLKC drops another one, and he's looking to get Shriek right here, but he does have the passive, and he gets away, bouncing off.
Oh man, that was a little too greedy by CLX. They really wanted the kill, but to die after that, wasting Galio's TP at this early in the game, he's probably going to get his TP back by the time he's level 7. So
I wouldn't say it's a waste coming in, as he does get some kills over there.
no,
So
a waste for CLX because they do get a kill, but they nearly got double killed there. Now both top laners are pretty much even at this point. Had
I
he
get
gone
it
out
right
with
now.
a kill and made it out, it would have been okay. But because he died, that makes such a big difference.
yes, I do agree right there. And trading Neko for a kill, the other kills right
Yeah.
there. It's just nice. And they do get a stun onto Hoki in the bot lane. A little bit of trading off right there as FDG is shoving the wave onto the side of Team Climax.
Yeah, and they didn't layer the chain of CC properly, so he put his traps a little too short, so Hoki manages to make it out in time. Now Zer in the jungle, this is going to be scary because we don't know where everybody is, and Wager is actually walking around just to check what's going on, but he could die here potentially if Zer catches him out. But Zer makes his way back out into the jungle, walks into this river, and now continues to go roaming around.
And in case if you guys are wondering back at home, why are they still stacking Doran's ring in this patch? Because this is still patch 7.11. It's not 7.12 yet, so Doran's still stacked into this game.
Yeah, and stacking Dorans is such a big part because it gives you that early game resistance, and especially for mage type champions, the mana regeneration is so big, and the extra AP really helps to keep you in lane and dish out a little bit more damage than you should.
And you can see now Shriek is coming in from the back here, probably trying to look for a gank. In the case that if 5 Dragoons kept pushing the wave, this is where they can actually take advantage of the situation right here. And Bart acting as if he is roaming around right there, but he does not. There are visions coming in from the side of the river. Oh, looks like there's more action on the top lane as Zer pops onto Oni once again. Oni's got to be really, really careful right here. Zer's putting a lot of pressure in the map, and he just cannot afford to overextend right there.
Yeah, and Neko with his explosive casket is really, really strong because it really just pushes you out of position whenever you try to get out of the fight, which really sucks sometimes because you go in and boom, you get pushed back into the fight and then you die because you can't really do much after that point.
Okay, and now Shriek is looking to actually counter jungle over here, knowing that the red is about to spawn, so he's probably going to take it and probably visit bottom or mid lane over there, as JLKC does not have his teleport, and his flash is still has just spawned up.
Yeah,
So
and we can see down by bot side, we can see that Shriek's stealing the red buff because he knows Kha'Zix is top side. He spotted that information. Now he has to take as much as he can before it goes back. And we can see Waygor just poking out, but it's Tahm Kench. He's not really going to take much, and that's why he's really, really safe, especially in this matchup, because he knows that the support can't really do much.
And I really like this coming in from the side of Waygor and the Zero over here. As you can see, Hoki being a melee support right here, they are putting a lot of pressure right there. And you can see the advantages of CS probably will go towards the side of Climax as well. Earlier on, we do see it going over to the side of Jinx, and now it's a bit more even up.
Yeah, let's not forget that that Hoki's actually trying to build Face of the Mountain here, so he is giving some of his, whenever he takes the CS, they're sharing the gold amongst him. Oh, and they're going in now, they're going to pick him up.
Beautiful gang onto Gelato, and Gelato is forced to pop his summoners right there, ensuring his safety out of the fight right there that's just about to happen.
I'm actually surprised that JLKC didn't try and flash shield Durans for that, because he may have used it earlier, but I think he might have been able to pick up the kill there.
Looks like Shriek may get to spot out Galio right there, and they are putting a lot of damage to Shriek, and constantly there's a lot of pressure coming into the side of Climax's jungle, as we see early on game 1, and Shriek has to respond really well to this. He has to be really smart and careful when entering the jungle.
I do agree, but Galio is such a pain. He's throwing out his Qs and is dealing so much damage already. Even Shriek nearly dying had he stayed in those wins for any much longer. So, kind of why the Demacian Giant is really a pain.
Well, I do believe that probably Gelato could have picked up a better mid laner per se, as Lux mid is pretty questionable in pro play, as all the skills are skill shots and it is dodgeable with a summoners.
Oh, we can see Oni getting picked off here.
And right now a fight breaks down over here as Shriek getting into trouble with 3-man into his face, and Oni is only in half health, and he does look for Zair right there, and the Tempered Fate goes on to Shriek right there, trying to save his life, and Zair will get the kill onto Shriek, but he will go down onto Zero.
I think I'm really understanding what this team composition wants to do, because now that I'm looking at it, Gelato and Zero have these long-range, really, really painful ultimates that can launch. Zero, especially with his rocket that can go pretty much the entire map, and Gelato just needs to be generally near the fight to actually pick up and peel for the rest of his team. So that could have been much, much worse for the side of CLX, but the good rotations and responses, I think Gelato's kit can work. It has a lot more potential than I'm seeing now, considering that fight breaking out.
This is great that you pointed out. Now I do see the idea coming on from the side of it, and it's a beautiful ulti coming in from the Jinx. Send it all the way from the base, and now Hoki here getting in trouble, getting himself poked a little bit onto the half health, but he does have the regeneration up, and he just heals back.
And that's why Tahm Kench is so good. He could take a couple of pokes and he would just walk off, heal a little bit more, pop one of his potions, and just heal back up to full and not have to worry about it.
The future as well, and you can see picking up the Tahm Kench is mainly for the protection of Kog'Maw right there. And late game Kog'Maw, it's gonna be pretty painful to deal with for the side of Climax, as they do set up a lot of vision onto the side of the Rift Herald.
And Zair, with some incredible reaction time, sees that 1 second reaction time from Shriek to actually jump out of the way to make sure he doesn't get CC'd upon CC. Because had Shriek landed that, oh boy, Gelato would have come in and just knocked them off.
He's putting a lot of pressure onto CLX right here, and he's forced to pop up the shield right there to sustain his health as he drops real low. And right now, Zaire coming in from the back. Will he attempt something right here? But the brush right there behind is watered out by Team Climax. And there you have it, more fights coming into mid lane as JLKC is dropped really low right here, and Zaire coming in to back him up. Shriek's in trouble this time, forced to flash away. Gelato has no mana, and he does have enough distance to secure an exit right there. And this time around, 5 Dragoons probably may look to take the first dragon here which is the Infernal Dragon, adding more damage into their side.
Yeah, that's really important. But I want to bring up how that was actually a lot sadder than it looked, because had he landed the Let's Bounce, it would have been pretty much a free kill, but he didn't hold it long enough and ended up pushing Galio away. So that was kind of sad, because that was pretty much a free kill there. So it's kind of frustrating to watch and see those things happen. And I can't imagine how frustrated CLX is, and especially how Shrike, where all he had to do was hold it for a little bit more, and he would have gotten a free kill.
Yes, I do agree. They have to coordinate better from the side of Climax, and Zer looking to pick up a kill onto Gelato. As
Gelato's got no mana. He's got nothing to do.
And I don't know, where is he running to? Is he trying to make a home run for suicide? And looks like it's gonna be spot out right there. And JLKC does spot him out. He gets soaked up with some damage. Looks like there's no way for him to escape. And look at this. Zer taking the KS from JLKC, but he does get the shield back up. So is JLKC gonna make it? He bumped a barrier. Oh, he does survive this long. I'm really impressed with this right here.
Now this is such a troll. What a troll.
What a fiesta that is.
Yeah, he knew that he was out of position. There was nothing to do. I'm not sure whether wasting barrier was worth it there, but overall, he knew that if he went topside, it might have resulted in a double kill, because they could easily dive Oni, because he isn't in a position where he's super strong. He needs 10 more CS to finish off that call, sell the call, and by then he should be able to finish off his Black Cleaver. So hard to say that was
TLC
bad,
is
but
so entertaining to watch. You know, like there's just so many things that is so surprising coming into our streams right here.
Exactly. We never know what's gonna happen. Now always remember, TLC, where only the cleanest plays happen.
Oh, I see what you did there. And popping the barrier, it was really unnecessary. As you said right there, there's no way of escaping. Might as well just drop. And unless if your teammates are putting pressure onto the side of the towers, then okay, go ahead, pop the barrier.
Yeah.
You buy more than enough time for your teammates to take down an objective. But no, looks like they do secure the lanes from the side of FDG. And right now, we do have the Zac coming onto the top side. And will Neko actually fall for this, as he does not get a vision onto Shriek right here? And he's still behind the lines, and he's pretty safe right here. So Shrieks have to back away and get himself more experience.
Now bot lane is actually frustratingly safe, because Veigar has his magical journey to get out of really bad situations, and Jinx, all she has to do, because usually most of the time bards can be out of position and it's safe for them to do so because of their magical journey. So what they do is they magical journey, get out of the way, and then the ADC just runs for it, because there's nothing they can do. And if they do decide to go on the ADC, Bard can just try and slow them down, then magical journey away. So
Yes.
lesson of the day here, magical journey saves you from any bad positioning. Bard
It can
players.
save you, but at times if you land a bad one, Bart's a really people call him a troll champ at times, as a bad-tempered fate can turn the fight. A good one will turn the fight around to your favor, but a bad one will put your team into unfavorable positions where probably you just get wrecked over. So
And actually, this is why CLX is really entertaining to watch when they bring out these off-meta picks. I'm just hoping that FDG shows some personality. If they're winning really hard, Hoki just takes Ribena and throws him into the fountain or something. That'll be really funny to watch. But yeah, it's high-level play, and if that happens, it's probably because purely for the trolls. But it'll be really fun to see that happen.
Exactly. And speaking to CLX the other day, I did get an interview with Oni, and they have really good team spirit. And no matter if they lose or win, they are having really good communication.
Yeah. I also got to talk to them during the side. They really like to have fun.
Looks like Shrieks jumps into Neko, and he gets blasted out by the cast right there. And now he does ensure safety. And Zer, so much going on to the bot lane as well, as he gets a kill onto Zero. Ribena dropping down Veigar, and this is gonna be the first turret going to the side of Fire Dragoons.
And an instant response. Zac got spotted out. Lux was not in position to be there. So instantly, FDG just go, okay, 4-man bot, we got it. And they take the first tower on top of getting 2 free kills on top of that. So CLX, what they want to do right now is trying to slow down the snowball. They're probably going to lose that mid-tier 2. In return, they're going to pick up Rift Herald here. So hopefully, in terms of goal management, we want to see, in short economics, we want to see Herald take down at least 2 towers minimum to at least make it an even trade.
Yes, I do agree, and it was really questionable about Shriek going into the fight on the top lane as Neko is so tanky, and we're gonna have a replay going on to the bot lane as to what happened right here.
And we can see here they instantly pop the hero's entrance, and Zare is just cutting down CLX. She's 0 because he's so out of position. Bard is under his tower. He can't do much, so they got split up really, really far away, which is interesting to see because what was going through Waegor's mind when he thought, oh, they're coming for my ADC. She probably won't make it out alive. What am I still doing here under tower? Was he already under his enchantment already? So it's hard to say the decision making that went across the matches.
And now you do see rotations coming in with bot tower falling down. Both the ADCs and the supports are now moving on to the top side. And I really love the fact that FDG with the Galio and 2 TPs up, there's going to be so much map pressure. And Zare is already a big problem for the side of Climax to deal with. And with all these rotations coming in, this is going to be really hot for Climax to actually find a solution to this. And if this carries on, they're probably getting choked out right here.
Yeah, this is just micromanaging all the lanes. See, the idea here of rotating their bot lane all the way to top and they switch lanes is because what else is their ADC going to do? They're just going to push a lane, and eventually, if the enemy leaves their top laner up at top, they're gonna get pushed in because they can't deal with it.
Another fight's gonna break down as they charges into the fray right here. Hoki dropping down the 0 right there, and now Waegor flashes out, and now they do secure another tower coming in. There's the TP coming inside of Oni. Are they looking for another flank right here? Looks like it's not gonna be as he cancels out his TP, and this time around they do get the second turret.
Yeah, and we can see that Gelato is pushing out his mid-wave, but he doesn't have enough damage to actually take down the tower. We're starting to see why these meta champions and meta team compositions really work here, and how non-meta don't work as much, but still has its pros and cons. So right now, CLX looking a bit shaky. It looks like they're gonna get choked out. So FDG, they don't really have to take too many fights here. They know Zare is so strong. He's almost he's finished his warrior enchantment. He's got tab eyes, so a lot of their AD damage is cut out of the fray. But on top of Black Cleaver shredding armor and giving the cooldown reductions and the health is gonna be a very big deal.
Just look at this right here, and JLKC just getting a little tiny bit of poke, and Shriek flies in from the back to JLKC as Waegor joins into the fight as well. And still, he's being so healthy right here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Abyssal Mask up, and he's just so tanky. He's too strong. At this point, there's no point even bothering to try and go for a kill there. They need to make sure they take out Ribena here, because overall, in this team composition, even if the other team members fail, as long as Ribena is going to hit his 3 item spike, he's going to basically carry the game for the rest of the time. So we're hitting 20 minutes into the game. It's the middle of the mid game, and it's going to be important here for CLX to either slow the snowball or find a way to pull FDG apart.
I was hoping to actually see more from the side of Gelato right there, picking up the Lux, as right now I could say it's not actually working efficiently on the side of Climax, picking up this Lux right here. As
I mean, he's playing Galio. There's really nothing you can do.
I mean, like, probably you need to look for kills elsewhere if you can't kill Galio. And that's just my perspective, as another dragon falls to the side of Fire Dragoons, and it's going to be the Ocean Drake, giving them more regeneration coming from his side. More tankiness, more regeneration. How are they going to deal with this?
Yeah, and now they're going with the Rift Herald, getting...
Oh,
wow!
Oh, what? Oh!
Wait! Hold up!
This is the first time I see a Rift Herald getting swallowed up by a time catch. That's really, really interesting.
Huh, that's a fun thing to know. You learn a lot
Oh,
more
looks
here
like
at
team fights
TLC.
break down as Shriek goes into the fray and Zaire dropping really low to Oni right there, but Zero popping out. Neko, this is going down in the favor of CLX, and right now the ulti finalist Funklin coming in from Lux, and this time around they get a turnaround. Triple kill for Jinx right there, and it's a quadra kill for Zero!
And it's such a big play for Shriek, letting his Let's Bounce, pulling him out of position. He makes such a big play here, and this is going to put CLX back into position. Zero popping his heel, going in,
Wager's
Wager
coming
going
in. Will he get the kill? You bet the kill!
It's a pentakill, the first pentakill here at TLC by CLX0. Well done, they're going to push it in. They're going to take the inhibitor right off the bat. What
This
an
is the
amazing
turnaround that
fight!
Climax needed, man. What a play coming in from Team Climax, and Zero changing things up for their side. He really is the MVP for this whole match here.
He's right in. Now he's finished. He's going to teleport, but he's going to get back. He's going to get his items. He's got Runan's Hurricane. Now, let's actually break down this fight. There's so many things I want to talk about this
We're
fight.
gonna
Let's look
have
at the
a
replay.
look at what just happened and what led to the pentakill.
Now
Break it
look,
down
Let's
for me.
Bounce gets out of the way, but I want you to point to Ribena here because he's going to make a big part. Wagar actually gets Hoki, but here's where it becomes important because he gets snared, he lands all his ability, Hoki takes away Kog'Maw to put him out of fight, they lose a lot of their damage, but eventually the double kill, the triple kill comes off for Zero as he lands his ultimate. Boy! At this point in time, he's just really excited to get the pentakill, so he's just running over, pops the heal, and I can't believe that he actually got it.
And you
Zero
can
got
see
too
how
greedy.
hungry he is, trying to get the kill right there, and Zero just runs it with the pentakill. With turrets falling low, he can actually proc the passive, run in with more attack speed, and that's how he did it.
And on top of the red buff burn, Zero pretty much just died to red buff after the elastic arm shot dealt just enough to not steal the kill, but eventually give it to Zero. Very well played there. Very well played.
Very well played, and I did not expect any pentakills to actually come into the game, to be honest, on the second match of today.
Yeah.
As we do see Climax, they weren't looking that convincing earlier on, and now with this team fight breakdown, this whole idea that I was skeptical about is starting to make sense to me.
Yeah, they can actually pick out the backline before the backline can do anything about it. The
And look
moment
at
the
it
backline
right
gets
now,
CC'd.
Team Climax, the goal lead is back on their favor.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's actually really important because now they're very even. We can look at the items on each team. Both minimum have 2 items already completed. We can see Frozen Heart and Sunfire Cape on Gargus being the tank that he is, but more importantly, Renekton has his Hydra and Black Cleaver. They're looking for another pick here.
And looks like JLKC being caught up alone, TP being channeled here by Neko. Will they be able to flank beautifully? And Let's Bounce gets Shriek onto the sides as he does take down Zero this time. No more pentakills gonna happen right here. And Gelato's being spotted out right here. JLKC hoping to catch him up, but they are backing off with the disengage.
And FDG playing very, very well. The macro game there was perfect because they tried to disengage. Shriek pulled them off out of the fight, and they're going to take Baron off of that fight after killing 2 of their most important members. Shriek, their initial engager, and Zero, who's pretty much the strongest member on their team.
This is gonna be a free Baron for the side of FDG with the fight that just break down on the mid lane earlier on, and this Baron here proves to be really, really vital for the side of FDG to come back into the game, and now they stole back to the goal lead and probably looking to take down this tower as it falls really, really low here. And Oni on the bot lane, he does have the TP up. He's trying to secure even more gold for his team, shoving the lanes and hoping to get the tower for himself.
And statistically with Baron buff, you should be able to take at minimum at least 1.5 turrets. Most of the time in other regions, it's minimum of 2, but here at TLC, we're noticing a trend that usually it's 1.5 because if they don't, depending on the team compositions, if they don't utilize the Baron's buffs, then it's going to be extremely difficult to deal with it. So CLX need to slow down the snowball. They've reset their macro plays. They've gone back, picked up their items, and now it's going to be the real siege for FDG.
And looks like Oni here putting a lot of pressure onto Neko, and turret is still intact right now. So right now we could get the lockup onto the
Yeah.
Neko, but this
Yeah, and the
turret
tower's
will
gonna be
still
going
fall
down
down
there.
on the side of Climb FDG.
And they pick up a free turret there. Not too big of a deal, especially for the side of FDG, because one tower, what is it going to do? The goal difference isn't going to change much. They can lose a bit of vision, alright, that's fine. But they've got Baron buff steal, and
the
they're going
Mountain
to
Drake
contest.
is now spawning up here. Then they're looking to contest it, and team fight's gonna break down over here most likely. So, what are the win conditions right here? Are they going to secure it for the side of Climax? Will they contest?
I personally think that there's nothing they can do, as Galio has taken their top tier 2, and he's going to push in Renekton, going to counter push, and the
looks
fight's
like
going to
Shriek
break out.
goes in. Beautiful template fake coming in, as now Ribena drops really low, but he does get a beautiful protection from his teammates. And Zare popping onto Zero. What is he doing alone right there? And Shriek is looking to back away. He's really, really low this time around. And now CLX being put further behind, and Oni on the top lane, falling really low, trying to shut down JLKC right there. Will he be able to make it out of this fight? And no, he's looking onto JLKC right here, and now a little bit of disengage.
Yeah, at this point in the game, they're just going to choke CLX out because they don't have enough members to really do much. Now, they're going to try. I don't know what he's trying to do here. He's pretty much going to give a free kill. Yeah, look at the damage, and is he gonna die? Nope. Oh, just misses it. Shriek just managed to save his life there.
Look at the damage coming from Gelato right there with the combo of the ulti as well. But Shriek, what was he trying to do? It's a Galio. It's not a Teemo, man.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do going in so low health? Yes, you may have the passive, but you wasted a flash trying to escape.
Yeah, bit risky there, but luckily it managed to work out in their favor. Their Baron buff being used really well. They've taken out the towers, and now FDG just slowly just cutting them off from their resources, and they're going to choke them out eventually, but they're going to need probably another Baron or a really good fight to close out the game.
They have to be really, really careful right here as JLKC spots out Shriek flying by, and you can see two members on the top side of for Climax, and they have to pretty much group up for any team fights that's about to break down, and they probably may need to stall for a bit as Baron buff is still somewhat intact.
And they can go for a rushdown, but to be honest, it's going to be really hard to pry open CLX unless they tower dive, because they've got all their tier 3s. CLX is in a position where they can come back easily because most of the farm is going to be pushing into them. So they can farm a lot easier, but FDG, if they want to choke them out, they've got to take as many of their resources as possible.
I want to point out something really interesting, though. Like, have a look at itemization for the side of Oni. Oh, looks like, talking about Oni, he's in trouble right here as the fight breaks down onto the bot lane, and the disengages comes in when Hoki actually puts up the ulti. And as I was saying, there's a nice foul coming into the Renekton right here. Really interesting. This is gonna, he's further buffing the Jinx right there. They're putting all the eggs in the basket onto him to deal damage. So Zero right there, the past two fights, he gets spotted out and get killed alone. This is the first one to drop, so he needs to be really, really careful, and the teammates of Climax, they really have to protect him in order to secure more kills. He is the hyper carry after all.
Yeah, that's true. And Bard already with the Iron Locket to add an extra shield on top of it. He might considering his item build right now, he might be going into Redemption to hopefully increase the potential of how much his team can win. And Tahm Kench not opting to go for Redemption here. He's probably looking to go for maybe Stone Plate, or building two items, one Stone Plate and the other going into Iron Locket, but we'll have to see.
It's really interesting to see both supports not opting for an early redemption. And right now it's 30 minutes mark right here. And Wager dropping really, really low to Zare right there as the spicy cockroach deals so much damage onto the support.
Yeah, and this is what he does. Kog'Maw is just a natural hyper carry. He just needs his third item.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kha'Zix with actually, fun fact, with his last Whisper here, he can actually deal enough damage to maybe take on Renekton. It's going to be hard to say for sure, because Knight's Vow does add a lot to the table. So, hopefully we can see Zaire picking off some really big targets.
Yes, indeed. And you could see a lot of rotation, just juggling lanes right here, trying to spot out anyone in the jungle as well, coming from the side of the Kha'Zix, roaming around their jungle. And Neko going in right here. They're just going to shove and shove and shove right there, hoping that Climax gets a member off position, and that's where they can capitalize.
And FDG is in the position where they can control the tempo of the game. They're just waiting for CLX to mess up, because all they have to do is wait for Baron, pick up the Baron, force the fight there, because they're pretty sure they can win it. So they just have to prep it every single time. 20 more seconds until Baron comes up.
Yes, and they are trying to secure some vision into the map, and it's really risky. As you said, the map is opened up wide, and Baron is being spawned up in 10 seconds. They are looking to secure something right here, and Neko's backing off, and no, looks like he does get hold down by the Shriek right there.
Yeah, but no real picks here. He might be looking for a fight here. Pokes out. Zaire is going to deal a bit of damage. We can see that Zaire actually does a good amount of damage with Neko layering his CC on top. Neko doesn't really have as much damage now, but with Abyssal Mask stacking, it gives him... It doesn't really give him a lot of ability power to say compared to other items, but it does give him enough to give him that slight edge over people who don't have any MR.
I can see that the important targets for Team Climax to target right here is definitely Zaire as well as Ribena, because if you remove these two hyper ADs coming in, the bursty type of champions, and you're left with the tanky mid lane and top lane. So there's nothing much a Tamken can do to shred you down, as well as Galio. He does have damage, but it's not enough to shred members in one go.
Yeah,
so
I have to agree. That's completely true. If they can get rid of their main sources of damage, it's going to be game over for the side of FDG.
And looks like they're going to attempt the Dragon right there. It's going to be another Mountain Drake. Hopefully, with this Mountain Drake, it will make it easier for them to secure the Baron as well as the turrets over here for FDG.
Yeah, giving that extra percentage damage to big turrets. Oh, but Gelato's getting picked off here.
Gelato, what is it doing there? Getting caught out.
Oh, that's just going to slowly... And this was what I was talking about tempo. They're just waiting for someone to make a mistake, and this is pretty much going to be a free Baron, unless Shriek can steal it somehow. But even so, that might be game if they pick Shriek and one other person.
There's just so many Barons coming into this game. Like, man, pity the fool, man. And now you have the Tempered Fate locked in onto the Baron. Will they get the steal? No, looks like Shriek is a little bit too late for the party right here. And he does put out the Blast Bounce and securing a beautiful exit. I was lost for words right there. I thought he will fall down, and they are still going in for the chase. And now Bart locks up the members of FDG, securing an exit.
Now let me tell you a little bit about what FDG wants to do here. In these next couple of fights, it's pretty much going to be over.
Flashes in, and now he forces all of them to back away, as this inhibited turret will go down for the side of FDG. Will there be any fights breaking down? We have to find out here as they back off this time around, making sure that they play this out safely.
I mean, they have Baron buff. They can do whatever they want. Now that they got their tier 3, if they take another tier 3, they pretty much have 2 inhibitors in the bag if they win a fight. So now with that option open to them, it's going to be very difficult for CLX to really win macro fights, because FDG have positioned themselves in such a way that no matter what, even if Zaire or Ribena goes down, they've pretty much done their job and taken out at least 2 to even 3 members of the side of CLX. So, the game's going to close out really soon. I'm pretty sure FDG is going to take the game in the next couple of minutes.
Well, you never know how CLX may come and turn things around, like what they did with the Pentakill, right?
Oh, definitely. Hopefully we see one of those again.
But definitely they have to deal with Ribena here. Look at his items. Triforce is up. Blade of the Ruined King. Phantom Dancers. He's even got the QSS right there to secure any CC chains coming into his face.
Yeah. Now with that third item, Kog'Maw is going to come up online, but so is Jinx, as she has her 3 items ready to go. She's just finishing off her Blade of the Ruined King after Well, she actually has Lord Dominic's on top of that. I thought it was Last Whisper, but no. With the extra percentage health damage and armor penetration, it's pretty much going to be her just shredding down Neko despite Neko and Galio, even though Galio does have the Thorn Mail.
And you can see the goal deficit here coming from the side of CLX here. So much Baron power play going on. And now they are sitting at 68k on the side of Fire Dragoons. And they're looking to close out this game with this inhibitor being taken down by the minions here, putting a lot of pressure. But it's not going down just yet. So will we see a fight break down? Over here as Oni puts a poke. And Shriek goes into the fight here. Will he be able to use the Let's Bounce? And he does, and he brings Neko and the rest of the tanks right there, and Hoki dropping really low. They're looking to get to the back line. Shriek pops out with his passive down, and Hoki will go down to 0 right here, and there's more damage coming in from 0. He's looking to chase people down, and Lux does not hit his ulti right there, and JLKC going back onto 0. He gets the kill onto 0, and Ribena turning onto the members of Team Climax right here, and they are falling really low. This inhibitor will go to them if they put up the pressure. And Gelato being spotted out alone right there, and Shriek goes back to save him, and now he is being caught out by all 3 members of it, and he does not have the passive as it was popped out. And more members of Team Climax dropping really low right here, and looks like the game 2 will once again go to Fire Dragoons.
Yeah, Fire Dragoons playing very, very well with their tempo. Congratulations, Fire Dragoons. You're securing your standings in TLC, but you've actually showed us how you played really, really standard, really, really well. Great show of tempo, especially because all they had to do was wait for CLX.